Can you hear me, B?
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Well, first off, of course, we grateful for the one and only GOAT. Man, we've been going crazy in the markets. That's first and foremost, but really just personal development, personal growth, meditation, stuff like that. Really been like getting a lot of just downloads from the higher up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just the ability to be in a place in your mind where you can like think about different ideas and just work on your personal health.
That's amazing. That's a great perspective. I'm with you 1,000%. Y'all drop some flames in the chat box for that nugget. Thank you so much, Mr. Cam, and congratulations on your bag today.
Yes,
Anybody
sir.
else got some gratitude, man? Talk
Yo,
to me.
yo,
Talk to me.
yo. What's up, B?
What's up, Mr. Sean? How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing amazing. Holla at me.
Yeah, I'm grateful for solitude. That's something that, God has just brought up in my year this year just to master, because it's like it's a beautiful thing when you can just be alone and you just love to be alone in your own space. And, people is amazing as well. But when you can just master solitude, it's just that feeling like I'm just like I love being alone now. Like I don't even like
Mhm.
being I don't even like being out too much. I don't even like being around people too much no more. I just be like, man, I can't wait to just get in my own space. And I just
Mm.
feel the most happiest when I'm in my own space. Like it's really just an amazing feeling when you can just vibe out just by yourself and just tone
Mhm.
out everything. It's really beautiful. So I'm like, man, I'm still mastering it, but the more I master it, the more just everything just gets more clear to me, and I don't be so attached to like environments or people or anything like that. Or sometimes you got to do a cleanse from social media. Sometimes you just got to do a cleanse and just be like, I gotta focus on me.
Mm.
And it's like when you master solitude, that's when you grow the most, honestly.
Right. I agree with that 1,000%. Because if you don't, there's this survey that goes around that talks about people who don't like to spend time with themselves, and they said the reason why is because they don't like hearing themselves think, and that was because a lot of people's thinking was negative, so they was trying to avoid challenges or adversity or just, a lot of times it was just what it consumed, and if you're not careful, man, you could talk yourself into something crazy. You know what I'm saying? So being protective of that space and just growing and developing in your own space really, really matters. And it puts you in this area where you start realizing how much more peace it is not to be around. You got to be around a certain group, so you start being more selective in who you deal with. So yeah, that was spot on, right? Um, so yeah, man. Happy Tuesday again, family. Thank you guys for sharing your gratitude. I saw the love in the chat box, and thank you guys for sharing your gratitude and everything that you're grateful for. And it's just a great space to be in. And so this particular call is hosted by Generational Wealth, and we do this call every single Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. And tonight, I just want to do something a little different. I just want to have a conversation on tonight, where I want you all to think about truly what are you avoiding doing, or are we having the excuses for ourselves to why we're not taking action? I had made a post about something and somebody commented about I've always wanted to learn, that I've always wanted to. And so I started, when I thought about it, I was like, well, why don't we just do the things that we want to do? Right. It's nothing holding us back. Right. Sometimes you may have delays. Sometimes you may have, different situations that could play a factor, but is it, if nothing else really matters, it's only our thinking where we just didn't take action on it. Right. So you have to ask yourself on tonight, what are we avoiding? And just put yes or no in the chat box. Are we avoiding some things that are really easy to do? Right? Yes or no in the chat box. Are we avoiding things that are actually really easy to do? All right. And once we identify that, of course, you need to know what your goals are. That's the first rule. You have to have goals. And the second rule is you want to make sure that I want to kind of switch. You want to have a desire, because if you have a goal, then, naturally you have a desire. So do you have a desire, not just necessarily a want, but a strong desire for something? Okay. And when you have a strong desire, then it's like autopilot. Everything just happens. You just want to take action. You just want to get it done. You want to go study. You want to go read. You want to do research. You want to go connect with different people. So that's where the desire is. Action is a byproduct of desire. So it puts you in that space. And then there's this side where it's like, okay, man, okay, I know what I got to do. I know what type of work I want to do. I know what's required of me, but I just put it off till tomorrow, right? I put it off later. Anybody been there before? I put it off later, man. I feel like doing that. No matter how bad you really, you really want something, like, man, I don't really want to do that. So we have to really get in a space of self-control and get in a space of real like I did that call on the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, and knowing that you can change your conscious thoughts. You can change your thoughts and never change your subconscious mind, right? And you have to really study that. You really have to get into that space of knowing those two versions of you, because if you were on that call, I talked about where you can want something and you can desire something, but the subconscious version of you is what's dominant. Okay, so if you don't know the difference, the subconscious version of you is what's dominant. That's what's habitual. The conscious version is the person you're always having the conversation with. For instance, if you want to lose weight, the subconscious version of you is what you don't do. Okay, it's what you're always doing. Okay, so you can always not be doing the work, or you can always be doing the work. That subconscious version of you is who you are. That's your identity. The conscious version is you may get inspired by something you see on social media, by somebody walking by, and you're like, man, I'm gonna lose weight. And so you constantly have this conversation with you, and then you see Yummy working out in the gym, and you run into her at the grocery store, and you said, man, you see her, you said, oh my God, you're losing so much weight. And she says to you, yeah, I just been working out. And then you say, I've always wanted to lose weight. Okay, well, start working out. Like, we have to eliminate I've always wanted to and just say, well, that's what I'm doing. All right. So the always wanted to is the poor man's excuse for, it's the poor man's language. It's lazy. I've always wanted to. Just do it. Right. So you have to really start paying attention to what your habitual version of yourself is doing, and be very aware, because the little things that you start to avoid are going to roll over into major plays in your life. So if you keep putting things off, if you stop doing the little things, right? I could say, so now I'm in a habit where I've been making my bed every morning for a while now, but I used to see my mom do it. I'm like, man, I've always wanted to make my bed in the morning. Like, bro, just start doing it. You don't have to have motivation. Like, please eliminate the word motivation. You don't have to feel like doing it. If you can conquer not feeling like doing something a lot of times, that's what's going to put you in the top 5%. All right. Because most people are waiting to feel inspired or to feel like I don't care about that. Like, when you really get a conscious awareness that, okay, I'm not going to feel like doing this today, but I'm going to do it anyway. Then if you just keep beating on that same philosophy, you still been on that same routine, then at some point you don't have to have an argument with yourself. If you can that's the biggest thing. Stop having arguments and debates with what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. Because if it wasn't a goal, you wouldn't be having the conversation in the first place, right? So always override the lazy version, or always override that version of you where maybe you didn't clean the dishes tonight, or maybe it's just little things we may skip, right? The charger's in the living room, but you don't want to get up and go get it. So you wait till the morning. So that little window of procrastination is creating a compound effect in your life. All right. You were supposed to send an email. So I'll send it later. Like, if you have the time in the moment right there, guys, do it. I'm telling you, it's because otherwise it's going to start affecting every area of life. And you're wondering, like, 12 months goes by, and you're like, man, I've always wanted to learn how to, budget better. I've always wanted to learn how to plan a trip. I've always wanted to learn how to do my resume. I've always just start doing it. The always wanted to learn can be a crutch where it starts, again, it beats on that skill set of procrastination, because I believe procrastination is a skill. You got to do it repeatedly enough for it to be subconscious, right? So what you don't do is still a habit. What you don't do is you have a habitual a routine where you don't make choices, right? So procrastination is still a skill set, all right? Laziness is a skill set. It started here first. You had to make a decision, right? So, and those skills had to what? Be repeated. All right. Habits come from repetition, right? So what you don't do, you repeatedly did not do it for it to become a habit. Oh, that's good, right? You repeatedly not you continuously avoided doing it. You repeatedly not doing it, and until it becomes a habit. So you have to be aware of those things. So I say, as we close out we got one more month left in the first quarter. What am I not doing? And why are we? Now let's say this. Why are we not doing it? Y'all drop that in the chat box. Why are we not doing it? Right? Why are we not doing it? Somebody tell me that reason. Anybody got a legit reason why we not doing it? Doing things. All right. But if you ain't got no legit reason, just say, nah, you ain't got one. I really don't have one. This is just, I don't. Just say, I don't have one. Right. Yeah, we don't have one, guys. And so who do you want to become? It's just always going to boil down to it. I was speaking to somebody today and they were talking about, they hadn't been to working out in a month. And I said, well, just go ahead and just do it. You ain't gonna feel like doing it. And it's like, yeah, I'm just waiting to feel motivated. And I just like, makes me cringe. You can't, I feel like motivation is such a man-made word to a certain degree, because people have made themselves dependent on this term. I want you to stop being dependent on motivation. That's what I'm gonna say to y'all tonight. Stop being dependent on motivation. Stop being dependent. See, feelings play a role in your goals, and you have to know how they play a role in your goals. When you desire something, it's backed by feeling. Okay. When you want something, it's just backed by your mental. But when you desire something, it's within your senses. When you just simply want something, it's just conscious. All right. It's not embedded in you. Okay. So you have to really say, okay, what am I avoiding? What am I not doing? And is it truly a desire? Or is it really a want? You got to know the two. Okay. And if I really desire, I don't have to feel motivated all times, but I keep the end in mind. I'm just telling y'all, desire is so important. Like I always do a desire check. Like, how do I feel about what I'm pursuing? Like, is it really burdening me, or is it like, I'm good at this and I'm just going to do it, right? So you have to really buckle down on overriding the motivation, the feeling of motivation. The feeling is only important when you are trying to obtain things, because you want feelings to guide you. You want feelings to pull you toward. All right. So if it's a new purchase, if it's a new promotion, if it's a better relationship, if it's you moving away out of something that's not adding value to your life, when you put yourself in an experience, if you give yourself a taste test, that's why feelings are important, because when you put yourself in these experiences, it's increasing your desire. All right. It's adding volume to your cup of feelings, right? It's adding volume to what it is that you want. And so you start getting a real life experience. You're getting closer and closer emotionally. All right. And so that's when feelings are a big contribution to what it is that you want. But when you are waiting, now, guys, by the way, you control how you feel by what you do, your experiences and your environment. So you got to put yourself in a space to actually have an experience. All right. If you're just sitting there saying, man, I'm waiting to feel motivated, then you haven't put yourself, oh, this is good. Motivation does not require an experience. Okay. What am I saying? And desires, you add feeling. Desires put you into an experience. That's what I'm trying to say. Desires put you into an experience. You're seeking something. I don't know, it just activates this magnet. But motivation, it doesn't come with feeling. It's this false pretense that you're supposed to feel something by yourself, right? I'm waiting to feel motivated. Wait, no, you can't do that. Just go put yourself, you got to pick your body up and go put yourself in a space to activate desire. All right. So when you're sitting there waiting on motivation, well, I don't feel motivated to go to work today. I don't feel motivated to call my friends and check on them. I don't feel motivated. Stop waiting on motivation, family. Okay. It has to be desire. Okay. And just discern the difference in the two. So I just want us tonight to really just sit down and write down, who do you want to become? What is it that you really want to achieve? And what is the reward out of everything that you're pursuing? Right? Who do I want to become? What is my goal and what I want to achieve? Because we know a lot of information. We know what we should do. And sometimes we even get on the call to hear what we need to do. But guys, y'all don't need to hear nobody tell you what you need to do. We know what we need to do. That's even myself included, right? So let's take tonight, pen and paper, or tomorrow and say, you know what? This is why I'm doing this. Know why you're doing certain things. Don't just be doing it because it fell into your lap. Don't do it because somebody said you're good at it, because there are a lot of things that you've been great at, but that doesn't mean that that's your calling, it's your purpose, that you need to just, pursue that route. Be very clear on what it is that you want. Be clear on why you want it and what is the reward in you doing it. What is the reward in return for doing it? All right. If you're, a lot of conversations I have is people want to change of career. They want more time freedom. Okay, well, what is the plan for you to have the time freedom? What is the plan for you? How are we getting to the end goal? And how are we appreciating where we are tonight? Where we are right now, right? So just really meditate on why you don't do things. I think that's the biggest takeaway I want us to get on tonight. Why don't I do those things? And how often do I avoid doing certain tasks? Okay, because the more times I don't do these things, it's the person that I'm becoming. Okay, I'm gonna say that one more time. Why do I avoid doing certain things? That's the first question to ask yourself. And the second question is, how often do I avoid doing these things? All right. And so you can start calculating, like, man, I kind of avoid doing things a lot, right? You didn't take out the trash. Maybe you didn't, maybe it was, I don't know, it could be little things, guys. Maybe they clean up the refrigerator. Like, it could be little things that you just feel like it doesn't have a toll on who you are as a person. But it does. All right. I'll be very transparent. I did laundry yesterday and I got one more load in the dryer. And I told myself it was late last night, so I'm gonna fold the first thing in the morning. I still hadn't touched that laundry. So now I have to be aware the fact that I didn't do that task, how that does it affect my overall discipline? How does that affect my overall habitual behavior? So I'm aware of those things, right? So your level of awareness is what's going to help you through that process. But why am I avoiding it? Why don't I do it? How many times a day am I avoiding tasks that are very simple and easy to do? And then why am I waiting to feel motivated? And if I'm waiting to feel motivated, then you need to do a desire check. Okay. Why am I waiting to feel motivated? You need to do a desire check. Now, there will be things you just don't want to do, right? Everybody don't want to sit around and just fold clothes all day, but that's a responsibility. All right. The key is to build discipline. All right. Making your bed every morning is discipline that creates good behavior, right? Managing your time on leisure social media, because there's two types of social media scrolling. There's educational, where you're gaining information and value through your studies. Maybe there's things you want to learn. And then there's leisure, where you just, you're mindlessly scrolling. That's mind numbing. So you want to be in control of that. You want to be, when did you going to take care of your body, working out, walking 30 minutes a day, taking time once a month or every single week to manage your budget. Like, everything matters, right? Making sure the trash is done, make sure the dishes, make sure your house is clean. My house stays clean all the time. So that's a discipline. Like, it builds these disciplines and it starts to roll over into every area of your life, right? So just be mindful of that, right? Even when it comes to your children, your career, your relationships, all of that, your social life, like, really pay attention to what you're avoiding and why do you avoid it. All right. And again, at the end of the day, just remember, if I'm not feeling motivated, aside of stuff like folding clothes or whatever, but if it's your goals, why are you not motivated to fulfill your goals? If you require motivation, that means you're looking for a third party assistance, by the way. Why do you need somebody? Why? Oh my goodness. Why are you going to ask somebody else to motivate you for something that you want? Why am I waiting on a third party to tell me what I need to do for something that I want? All right, you gotta really think about that. Why am I dependent on that? Like, we all gonna have encouragement, we're gonna have environments and growth. That's fine, but you don't want to become stifled in what it is that you want to become because you're waiting for every day somebody to tell you, all right, let's hit the gym. Like, no, do you want it or not? All right. And that goes back to self-control. Are you really in control of your mind? Are you really in control of your behavior? If not, got a lot of development to do. You got a lot of growth to do. All right. Waiting for validation, waiting for praise, like, bump all that, get it done. Do what it is that you got to do. All right. Because it's a desire. Like, let me tell you, desire puts you in such a space where you don't have to have validation. You don't have to have glory, because first of all, I'm only doing it for God in the first place. Second of all, you're not looking for approvals, validation. You're not looking for none of that. There's no external praise that needs to validate my dreams and my goals. That needs to validate my desires, right? So be careful of why you're pursuing things and the reason for them, and not to get caught in a hype, right? So just be aware of those things, and know what it is that you want. All right. So like I said, this call was gonna be short, but I think the biggest thing was start waiting to be motivated, understand what tasks that you're avoiding, and then how many times a day that you are avoiding certain tasks, and be aware as you keep avoiding, as you keep diverting, as you keep procrastinating. Right now, if you've had a maxed out day and you still got things on your list, that's great. You had a productive day. Everything can't be done in one day. But if you spent 30 minutes on Instagram or TikTok leisurely, and then you could have just did this task, right? There'd be times I get on there, I'm like, all right, 5 minutes, 60 seconds, it's 2 minutes. Okay, I got to get up off of here. I got something I got to do. So just be mindful of that. You're gonna have hiccups. You're gonna make mistakes, guys. Don't. It ain't gonna be perfect. But the idea right now is to be aware of it, to make adjustments to it, so you can get to where you want to go. Because ultimately, it's going to be up to you. All right. So, but this is very simple, because life is actually pretty simple. So this call was very simple tonight. All right. It was a conversation we just needed to have with ourselves. So I didn't want to go too deep off in the far end tonight, but I just wanted us to really have a conversation with ourselves tonight. All right. Not to find out nothing new about the subconscious mind, activity, and atomic habits. It was really like, I really know a lot of information. It's just time to take action. All right. So let's take action. Let's take more action and be aware why we don't take action. All right. But that's it. All right. That's it. We're going to keep it simple tonight. The hashtag tonight is what? What's the hashtag tonight? Take action. Take action. All right. Be consistent. Don't be lazy. All right. Take action is our hashtag tonight in the group chat. All right. Keep it simple. There we go. Miss June dropped it. Hashtag tonight. It's just keep it simple. It really is. Everything we want is very simple. Our habits it's all simple, guys. It's just, why don't we do simple things? It's so crazy. The human mind is so crazy. All right. We make it so hard. Yes, right. Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do that? So just start being aware of why. And it's okay. Just laugh at yourself. Like, man, I can't believe I didn't do that. Like, why am I not doing that? Why am I not consistent? Why am I not staying on top of it? Why did I just go to the gym today? I had plenty of time. And then you had a lot of time to get it done too, right? It make it worse. So let's keep it simple, guys. That's our hashtag tonight. Thank you so much, June, for the hashtag tonight. Y'all go to the GW chat and drop that hashtag. It's a conversation with ourselves tonight. Y'all keep it simple. Do what you got to do. And let's hit the next level and everything that we desire. I love y'all. Next Tuesday, I'm going to light y'all up next week. Y'all have a blessed night, and peace and blessings to you.